Imagine you are a bystander. You are on a bus, and someone starts behaving aggressively towards some other passengers.
Hey, you frickin' lesbians. Get the hell out of here. Just go to the mental hospital to do your bullshit.
Fortunately, this type of situation doesn't occur very often, but when it does, it can be very upsetting. Many people would like to intervene, but don't know how to or are afraid to take action in case the antagonist turns on them. These people are bystanders, passive ones actually. A bystander is a person who observes a conflict or unacceptable behavior. It might be something serious or minor, one time or repeated. But the bystander knows that the behavior is destructive or likely to make a bad situation worse. A bystander can be active or passive. Imagine the bus is the society you live in. What if everybody reacted like these passive bystanders? What would the consequences be? Let's have a look at some examples from history or from elsewhere in the world, where everyday hate related to skin color, sexual orientation, or gender is normalized and leads to oppression and, in extreme cases, genocide. Throughout history and around the world, many bystanders decided to stand up, become actors of their own lives, and militate for their rights. Confronted with racism and segregationist regimes, these people have become emblematic figures in the fight against hate crimes and speech due to skin color. Nelson Mandela dedicated his life to the fight for freedom and justice for his people. He fought against the political domination of the white minority and the racial segregation imposed by the apartheid regime. After 27 years of imprisonment, Mandela peacefully ended this racist regime and became the first Black president of South Africa. Across the Atlantic, since 1877, the USA has faced strong racial segregation. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, or Malcolm X were emblematic faces of this fight for freedom and civil rights. Rosa Parks has touched many souls by protesting against segregationist laws in the buses by refusing to leave her seat to a white passenger. She sat down in order that we all might stand up, and the walls of segregation came down. The fight against racism has become an important issue over the years, but it is important to remember that hate crimes and speech are also closely linked to sexism, sexual orientation, and homophobia. Angela Davis, for example, became an anti-racist and feminist icon in the United States in the 70s. She made women's emancipation and freedom her lifelong struggle. Malala, meanwhile, is a young woman and Pakistani activist fighting for women's rights and the right to education following the bill to ban schooling for girls. She received the Nobel Prize in 2014 at the age of 14. Another emblematic figure in the fight against sexism is the Frenchwoman Simone Veil. She dedicated her career to the fight against discrimination of women in France. She introduced the Veil Law to criminalizing abortion. Finally, it is important to mention Harvey Milk, who was one of the first openly gay elected officials in the United States on the San Francisco board. He became a symbol for the fight for the rights of LGBTQ+ people. These steps made a huge difference and led to safe, tolerant, and fair societies for everyone to live in. These rights and freedoms acquired in the past should nevertheless not be taken for granted. It is up to each of us to fight for them as active bystanders. Back to the bus, where we were a few minutes ago. Here you can see some active bystanders who decided to make a difference in their own way. This one here decided to intervene physically and to distract attention away from the victim. Distracting buys time and takes attention away from the victim. But did you notice? Another one decided to document the incident. This might not feel like she is helping much, but it can help in two distinct ways. Firstly, it can shame a person into backing off if they think that they are being filmed. No one wants to end up as an Instagram star for behaving like an idiot. Secondly, you might be able to help identify the person to the police afterward and help to get them prosecuted. Look at this one here who took direct action because she felt safe enough to do so, since she is a friend of the leader. And this one here, who delegated to another person, to someone with more authority in this case, who could intervene. Let's not forget all the other ones who remained passive. Same thing in real life, 80% of young people don't feel confident enough to speak up when someone else is being verbally harassed. Challenging a verbally abusive person can indeed be very scary and threaten one's safety. Which of these characters are you? Which one do you want to become?